Whoa. Rockstar Gang. What up? What up? What up? Appreciate y'all. I did not know it was gonna pop my thing popped off like that. I did not know it was gonna do that. That was interesting. That was interesting there. Did not think it was gonna pop off like that quick. I guess because I'm still like used to that 5 minute timer, but now we got the whole new intro. I mean, um, absolute banger though of an intro though, right? So anyways, day 14, Corbett's named the starter. Wide receiver battle heats up. And then, of course, rookie defensive back shines. Again, welcome to the Rob Star Report. Your host, as always, Clay Rob, and everything Panthers news, updates, and insight. And of course, my takeaways, my observations, as always. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to the channel. If you want to show your support, the best way you can show your support here on the Rob Star Report is just liking and subscribing. That's it. That's all I ask. I would love to one of these days be able to put a wonderful YouTube plaque on the wall, okay, of reaching over 100,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, and hopefully one day the ultimate goal, of course, is reaching 1 million. But that's far in between. But so again, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you click that post notifications bell. If you are feeling generous, you can donate to the channel by Venmo or Cash App. That's fine as well. All donations, money wise, is always going back into the channel. Okay. Become a member today as well. You can become a member for $5, $4, $3, $2, 99 cents. Whatever you feel comfortable with. That's up to you. So that also helps out the channel tremendously. And of course, all my links, if you want to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, that is all there as well. So Antonio McClellan, what is up, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. Hope all is well. Happy Monday to everyone. And we are in day 14 of training camp. As we prepare for this Houston Texans team for a preseason and, of course, joint practice this week. So, but everything today, we're going to dive into everything of day 14. So I'm not going to waste any more time with these antics. Let's go ahead and dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. I got to share my screen. Darren Green asked, why didn't Bryce then play a little bit longer? I mean, Canales said 2 to 3 drives. They gave him 2 drives, they pulled him out. This time around, they're probably going to play 3, according to Dave Canales, but I don't know if that's for sure. Why'd they pull him out? Because they don't want to work it's not just Bryce Young, it's all the starters. They don't want the starters to get injured. That's their main concern. So that's the only thing I can come up with to tell you. All right. First things first, and I'll get into some of these here shortly. First thing I want to talk about is this. So Dave Canales announced that Austin Corbett will be the starter today. All right. Austin Corbett will start at center. Now, this is obviously one of the most closely watched battles of the summer. Is now over, and Austin Corbett is the starting center. The move isn't about who snaps the ball to Bryce Young. It's about setting the tone on the entire offense. Now, Corbett, I think, is 28. I don't know how old Austin Corbett is. He might be older. Austin Corbett. I don't know how old he is. He's 29. Okay, apologize. He's 29 as of right now. Has been an NFL starter since 2019, primarily right at the guard position, primarily the right guard. They slid him over to center in 2024, and after the Panthers reshuffled their line in an attempt to get more consistent protection, of course, for Bryce Young. Now, that experiment lasted just 5 games before he tore his bicep, which ended his season last year. And then Cade Mays, who's been the main competition, is no liability. He filled in admirably last year, starting 8 of the last 9 games. Coaches praised his physicality, football IQ. He looked good. I thought him and Bryce were building chemistry. I thought he was really setting the tone. I thought it was Cade Mays' spot to win, to be honest with you. And I thought it was Corbett's spot to lose. But I think that they chose Corbett's leadership, and I think that his proven ability in that standpoint to command the line in both run and pass schemes kind of really tipped the scales there. Now, according to other reports, they said that like Alex Zietlow of Charlotte Observer came out and said that this is what he said. It was that Dave Canales says that Oscar Corbett starter, winning a job over Cade Mays. It was really close, I'll be honest. So this is as much about chemistry, I think, for them going after this as it is about talent. By naming the starter now, the Panthers give Bryce Young Corbett in 3, solid weeks to fine-tune protections, cadences, right, before, week 1. Okay, so that's where we're at with this right now. They are the starters, paid for the defense. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, Darren, but okay. What's up, Marcos? What up, local kid? What's up, man? Appreciate you coming through. So yeah, Corbett's the starter. There's only some backlash for me, like, I don't know. I feel like you can make a clear argument for Cade Mays last year, right? Because Cade Mays last year, right? Corbett goes down with that bicep tear, and Cade Mays just steps right in. And before Corbett was the center, before Cade Mays became that starting center, Cade Mays was not very good. I'll be completely honest with you. But I don't think he's efficient at the guard level. I think he's efficient at the center, right? I think that best fits him. Hold on one second. But if it was really close, here's the thing that I got to say. If it was really close, because I can make the case for Cade Mays at center. You can make a total hard case. What up, T. Cole? Yeah, but Darren, we're going to be playing starters in this game too. Everybody's going to be playing, like, we're playing these starters as well. I'm not sure what you're getting at. Jaycee Horn. I don't know who Jaycee Horn is. I know who Jaycee Horn is. And Jaycee Horn didn't even play last game, bro. Jaycee Horn didn't even play last game. Will Jaycee Horn be playing with the starters receiver? I don't know. There hasn't been an update on Jaycee Horn's injury. Well, actually, there has been an update today. We'll go over that. But no, there hasn't been an update yet. Where are you going? Okay. So Jaycee Horn's be playing the starters receiver. I don't know. He's probably not even going to play. He got in an accident, Darren. He got in an accident. Okay. Like a legit car accident. messed up his thumb. He had stitches in his thumb, so he didn't play. They probably don't expect him to play till the preseason game against Pittsburgh at this point. But I'll dive more into that here shortly. Just be patient. Cade Maysville did decent for us when Corbett went down, but he's not outstanding center. He was solid for us moving forward. Matthew, I disagree. I think you can make a case for Cade Mays at center over Austin Corbett. The continuity with the current line he already has. He started eight of the last 9 games last year after Corbett's injury. So let's make that clear, which means he's already built real chemistry with both Bryce Young and the rest of the offensive line. So I get it. Corbett is adjusting, Corbett is adjusting back from that injury. He's relearning the position in live action because last year, that's the first time Corbett's played center since he came into the league when he was with the Browns. But Mays enters this 2025 season with a fresher body and a direct carryover from last season blocking calls, cadence familiarity, communication pattern. That's the kind of continuity that is invaluable, especially early in the year when execution matters more than experimentation. I just think that another thing is that he's more durable. Like, we know Corbett's, both of his knees are made out of ground beef at this point. And then now he's got a torn bicep. Like, the guy can't stay healthy. Like, what are we talking about here? I'll get to that question here shortly, Matt. It's just like I don't get it. That's the thing. Like, Mays didn't just fill in last year. He played through a late season grind when injuries and that defensive, when injuries and defensive disguises and playoff hungry pass rushers were at their peak. He took every defensive wrinkle head on, stayed healthy enough to finish the season. For a team that saw its offensive line shuffled repeatedly, it shuffled a little bit because of having Corbett come out. And then, of course, Damian Lewis got a little injured here and there. Taylor Moton was out a couple games. So having a durable and available center is not just a luxury, it's stability, right? Well, I mean, I get it. Here's the thing. Like, I know that Corbett is known for leadership and versatility. That's what he's known more. But May's game has a distinct physical bite to it more than Corbett can give. Coaches have been praising him this whole training camp about his physicality and that strength at the point of attack could help the Panthers run game establish, I feel like, an early season identity with him. With Bryce Young at the helm, being able to learn for Bryce Young being at the helm, he can lean on a punishing run game in one of the safest ways to control tempo and, reduce the pressure on the pass game, right? I think handing the starting job to Mays would have rewarded his performance from last year. I think it would have sent a strong message to the locker room. I think the production and growth matter as much as the resume. I think Mays is entering just in his, third season and still has room to develop into a long-term anchor. Like, I think letting him take the week 1 snaps would not only maintain last year's momentum, but it would accelerate his growth. So again, the thing I keep going back to, though, with Corbett is Corbett is coming off a torn bicep. That is a critical injury for a center whose job is to snap, engage, and then control a defensive lineman with leverage. So if there's any lingering concern about his strength, his stamina, or technique under game conditions, ease Corbett in behind Mays. That's what I would do. That helps prevent a setback while keeping the offensive line consistent. So I don't get it. I mean, Corbett may be that veteran leader. I get that. But I feel like Cade Mays offers more continuity, more durability, and more of a physical presence that could set the tone for the season. Sometimes the best way to build long-term success is to ride with the guy who's already proven he can handle the fire. And last season, I felt like Mays did exactly that. So, again, I'll get to that question here to your people already giving up on Excel. I mean, he hasn't even played a game. So what are we giving up for? Because he got in a tussle? We're giving up on XL because he got in a tussle? I mean, if there was if Rashawn Jenkins didn't have a helmet on, that dude would have got knocked out. Let's be honest. The guy gave him a 4-piece McChicken and he would have been knocked out first off. But second of all, what are we giving up on Excel for? What has he done for us to just give up on him? Because Jaylen Coker is balling out just because we didn't see Xavier Legette? What if Xavier Legette goes out here on this weekend and scores a touchdown and has 2 receptions? Are we going to say, well, Jaylen Coker, and then Jaylen Coker doesn't do anything? Are we just going to say, well, Jaylen Coker, we got to give up on him? Like, what are we talking about here? So, I mean, some of these Carolina Panthers fans, man, are just so fake. And just so, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Now, maybe not fake, flaky. Like, you want everybody to be the next Randy Moss. Like, shut up. So that's what my thoughts are on it, Matt. That's my thoughts. Already giving up on Excel. For what? What are we giving up on him for? We're giving up on him because he got in a tussle and he got kicked out of a game. If you go watch the game film, if you were smart enough as football knowers, go watch the game film. I can pull up the game film. He actually was running really good routes and creating separation out there. If you actually go watch the game tape, the Browns go rewatch it. We can pull it up right now. The routes he was running, he was getting open. It's just unfortunate that he got into a tussle. He got into a fight. What do you want this guy to do? I mean, my God. Why would you give up on a talent like that? If you want to give up on anybody, how about you give up on Adam Thielen, who looks slow out there? I'm going to be honest. I thought Adam Thielen looked slow in the Cleveland Browns game. If you want me to be completely honest, go watch the tape. Yeah, he made a catch. He's still Mr. Reliable. But I have Hunter Renfrow here. I have Jimmy Horn Jr. I got Tet McMillan. I got Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette. I don't need Adam Thielen. We don't really need him. That might be a hot take because he's been here. He's been cooking, but he's also 35 years old. And Father Time normally wins in these situations. So I'd be cool with that too, Justin. Or you could switch XL wide receiver 2, put Coker at the slot. You really can't go wrong either way. You really can't. It's crazy. It is crazy, man. The Panthers fans, I get it. We're tired of losing. I'm tired of losing too. But we can't right now. You can't have your cake and eat it too, man. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You gotta be patient a little bit. We should be grateful that we're getting wide receivers. We didn't do that for the past 10 years. talking shit, number 19. At least he's on the field. I mean, I get it, Rock. I'm just saying. He looks slow, but like people want to talk about going ahead and just like, I mean, Rock, they're talking about giving up on Xavier Legette. I'm not want to give up on any of the players here, but I'm going to say this. If we're going to get rid of anybody in the wide receiver room, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the 35-year-old man. That looks slow. Sorry. Xavier Legette was getting open. He was creating separation before he got in that tussle with Rashawn Jenkins. But go watch. Hey, but what do I know? I hear some people saying we have too many wide receivers. Didn't need Tat if Bryce was so supposed to be so good. Listen, all I'm going to say is this. Bryce Young is good. I think he's got a great football IQ. I've said it before. I think he's gotten better. His footwork, his timing, his rhythm. He's starting to be more efficient with the football. And I'll be honest with you. I thought I saw a mini Drew Brees out there against Cleveland. Now, again, I get it wasn't with the starters of the Cleveland's defense, but I saw what I saw. But Bryce Young in Alabama, let's be perfectly clear on this. Bryce Young in Alabama, Nick Saban built that offense around Bryce Young, built it for his strengths. And of course, you know, Nick Saban brings in the top recruits, I mean, every year. So, yeah, he's going to have that supporting cast around him. He's going to have a Devontae Smith, a Jamison Williams. He's going to have 5-star wide receivers around him because that's all Alabama brought in with Nick Saban. He was good. Like Bryce was good, but he also had a lot of talent around him. You can't blame but you can't blame Bryce on that. That's just Nick Saban's recruiting. But he still had to build a offense around Bryce Young and his play style and to his strengths, which is what Carolina is doing here now. Do you blame them? No. When you go out and get, you know, when you go out and sacrifice your mortgage for a guy for a first round pick like Bryce Young. Yeah. You're going to do anything you can to make this try to make this work. And if it doesn't work out, guess what? At least you're built for when you bring in the next guy in. That's all I'm going to say to that. Adam Thielen is getting older. That's a fact. I don't mind us training him to a contender and keeping Renfrow because he's a couple years younger. Exactly. Renfrow's 6 years younger than him, by the way. And I've heard that the Philadelphia Eagles are interested in Adam Thielen. I still think I've heard some rumors about that. I don't know how true it is, but we'll see. We'll see. Possibly Marcos. I mean, the Bengals didn't need to draft Jamar Chase in 2021 because they needed O-line help, but they did anyways, and now they have a right. Exactly, Matt. Exactly, Matt. Renfrow I like too, but he can't even get on the field right now. Well, he was out there today cooking it up, Brock. So he was out there cooking it up today. He was back on the field, just so you know. He was back on the field. Right. Look, hold on. Who's this? No, that's Tet. Where's the play at? Renfrow. Here he is. There he is. Cooking up. So he was back on the field today. Don't worry. We're going to go over some one-on-ones today. We're going to go over some one-on-ones. Don't you worry. Actually, I do want to get to the injuries first. I'll go ahead and get to the injuries, and then I'll get into all that. So some injury updates. There are some guys that aren't on this list. Jaycee Horn, we all know about the thumb. We all know why he's sidelined. Last week's car accident, stitches between the thumb and index finger from that airbag deployment. He played. He would play if it counted, but the team isn't risking infection or reopen the wound in August. As for Robert Hunt, he is not on this list, but he is dealing with an ankle. He left practice today. His ankle is taped up, but reportedly he got his workload in. So nothing to be too scary there with Robert Hunt. Now, Damian Lewis, shoulder. We finally found out it's a shoulder. Remains out, leaving the guard depth. Not paper thin, just in that situation, it is a little thin because Chandler Zavala is still out with his. If I'm not mistaken, I think Chandler Zavala still has a shoulder issue. So practice ended with Brandon Walton and Jatry Carter at guard. Both were were on the practice squad last season, so they stepped in. LeBron Ray, his ankle, he's week to week with a high ankle sprain. We all know he started 9 games last year, but now faces stiff competition with a beefed up defensive line group. And then again, oh, sorry, Chandler Zavala's knee. I thought it was a shoulder. Sorry, it says it right there. Duh. Chandler Zavala's knee. So also out. Target return is going to be preseason finale. So the guard situation is officially on a watch list for me right now. Hunt's ankle, not something to worry about. It could become a lingering issue. And then Lewis's return date is still unclear. We have no idea when Lewis plans on returning. So yeah. I had my first day of high school today. Nice one, band one. Now show the play where he misses a pass, Clay. Did you see one today, Rock Jones? Did you see one today? So Jaycee Horn was out there today. He was doing he was participating in defensive drills, but he was also out there coaching. So he might not be taking like true reps, but he's impossible to miss when he's out there, either by sight or, of course, the neon cleats that he always wears. He's been coaching the DBs, according to reports. He's been challenging the receivers. He's trying to keep things competitive, out there. He's trying to keep everybody sharp from the sideline. So it's good, right? And Leggett commented on it in one of his part of his press conference today. He just says that he never basically said that he's never quiet. And Leggett goes, if I feel like I got him on something, I just let him know, and vice versa, he lets me know. So, it's part coaching, part trash talk, but 100%. Obviously, we know how Jaycee Horn is and his personality, but it's good to see him on the field and taking reps at least, where he can, right? So let's talk about, and I'm going to get to some more of these one-on-ones, so don't worry, Rock, don't worry. We'll get to it. Let's talk about Jaylen Coker. Shout out to Sheena Quick for this clip right here. I'm just going to say we're going to dive into what Jaylen Coker, but I want y'all to hear what Dave Canales had to say if you missed it, because Jaylen Coker, I feel like right now, is making this wide receiver room crowded.
Up to now, I mean, hopefully, up to now, like, we're going to play the best guys. And the guys that we can count on, the guys that make plays, the guys that make the catch. Out of Tracy Smith's dad, Tater would always say, a receiver's good is when you throw it to him to catch it. And Jaylen has really showed to be one of the more reliable guys that we have. Whether it's contested or he's, open in space. He plays strong to the ball, and, he had two really amazing plays in a go ball where he went up over JT Broughton and kind of took it, off of his shoulder and finished the play finished on his feet and ran the ball into the end zone. And he keeps showing us like that, he's going to be on the field playing. There's no doubt about it. So, we love all of our guys. I have high hopes for this group in general, but that's the nature of competition. And that's what it does is all of a sudden you see people elevate and rise and really show who they are. I mean, hopefully, up to now, like we're going to play the best guys and the guys that
based off of what I'm taking from that, obviously, is that in this position group, we already are stuffed, man. Like we're stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey, man, especially in this wide receiver room. Because if you think about it, with everybody we got on this group, you got Xavier Legette, Adam Thielen, Ted McMillan, Jimmy Horn Jr., Hunter Renfrow, and then now you've got, Jaylen Coker, who is just one of those guys, ever since he's gotten here, has refused to fade into just the background, right? He just doesn't sit around on his hands, right? He's one of those guys that could just continues to get better, right? He's only a second-year receiver, and he's been stacking good days in camp, and then of course in the Cleveland game, he had a touchdown on Friday. We all know that. He also had two more statement catches. He had a 45-yard, would have been a score where he straight up bullied Tre'von Brogdon on the ball for the ball. And then if you know what clip I'm talking about, but Coker's playing style is physical, almost old school. Like he doesn't just like catch the ball. He wins possessions. It's like he's going up to rebound the basketball, right? So that's what's so appealing to me, and probably maybe that's what's appealing to the coaching staff. Looking for someone who can bail out the quarterback and especially in tight coverage situations. Okay. And of course, Canales didn't shy away from hinting that Coker could force their hand, right? And so if he keeps producing, someone in this wide receiver room could find themselves as trade bait or on the waiver wire before September. That's the way I look at it. This is I'm going to get to some comments here. This is too early to ask, but do you see us drafting a linebacker in the first round of 2026 NFL draft? Matt, I'm going to say this. That all depends on how Bryce Young does this year. I'm serious. If Bryce Young can go out here and meet expectations, then yeah, maybe. Or maybe they go and get a right tackle. Maybe they go get a right tackle to go replace Taylor Moton because they haven't done anything with Taylor Moton's contract. But it's too early to tell. Whether they extend Moton for another two, they would only extend for a 2 or 3 year deal. But it all depends. I think it depends on Bryce Young and the whole Taylor Moton situation. So, yeah. With the injury to Louis Zavala, do we keep Cade or do we still look to trade him since he lost starting? Now, Kendall, I think you keep him. Here's the thing. Kendall, you got to think about it this way. Just because he lost it to Corbett does not mean that you want to let this guy go. And I get that Lewis and Zavala are injured right now, but Christensen can move right into that left guard position. I can't trust Corbett to stay healthy. So, no, you can't trade Cade Mays. You can't trade Cade Mays. You got to keep Cade Mays. I'm sorry. So, that's where my stance is at. And as well, what's up with our locker room? I haven't got the time to look into it because of work. Nephew Clay, how are you doing? This is your Carolina Panthers unk. You're wearing a watch out for that boy 31 Thornton. I love me some Corey Thornton right now myself, unk. So, for sure. For sure. I'm loving me some Corey Thornton right now. The guys that make the catch, wide receiver 2 loading. There you have it. Coker's playing regardless. Yep. Coker ain't about that bullshit. He's here to ball for sure. For sure. I went on another show and said Coker can put Puka numbers with similar targets. They clown me, of course. The eye test is undeniable. I don't know about Puka numbers. I mean, I definitely think he's a guy that can put up some numbers, but Puka numbers that's a tall task to ask for, T. Cole. I can see something like a guy like he could get something like T. Higgins numbers. Something like that. I could see that. But Puka numbers, you're asking for a lot. I want XL to succeed, but he's got to pull his head out of his ass. I mean, Palmetto Panther, I mean, what? Because he got in a tussle, got in a fight? Are we just going to continue to just like grind this guy's ass just because he got in a fight? Because Coker's balling out right now? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, why are we getting all over Xavier Legette? And why are we just going to give up on him? I don't understand this fan base, man. I just don't understand some of these people in this fan base. I don't get it. What does he need to do? Exactly. I mean, I don't get it. Y'all need to start watching tape. I can tell you that. Y'all need to start watching tape. Because again, I'm going to tell you once, I'm going to tell you twice, and I'll watch the tape. Xavier Legette, before he got in that scruffle, was getting open. So whatever he needs to do to pull his head out of his ass just because he got in an off-season tussle, I don't get it. I just don't get it. God dang, man. Yeah, let's just go ahead and trade away our first-round pick, wide receiver. Let's just go ahead and give up on him because he got in a little fight. I just don't get it, man. Y'all need to make it make sense to me because I don't. What's up, SC Panthers boy 803? I'm in our kicking room goof message. Right now, I think Ryan Fitzgerald's winning it. From my last thing I've heard and from the beat writers, it seems like Ryan Fitzgerald's winning it right now. He's ahead of Wright. So, born in Atlanta but raised in the Carolinas, team serve her till I die, nephew. Hey, as you should. As you should. Trust this. Excel going to ball out this season. I think he's one of our breakout candidates. I can't deny that. Him and Jadavion Sanders, you could put Coker in there. I mean, there's a lot of guys on this offense that could, break out. Those are my top three. I think Tat, I'm not going to say he's a breakout guy because it's his rookie year. Tat's going to do his thing. I feel like I don't even really have to worry about him. I saw enough from the Cleveland Browns game that tells me all I need to know. Has anyone even seen all Excel been doing this offseason to get better? Right. Exactly. We've been a soft ass real for years now, and people are upset that our wide receiver stood on business, whooped ass. This is a new regime here, ladies and gents. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you. I just don't get it, man. Shout out to Steve-O. With that $1.99 donation, he's a starter. All right, Steve-O, since you said a $1.99 donation, I will replay this for you, my guy.
I mean, hopefully, up to now, like we're gonna play the best guys and the guys that we can count on, the guys that make plays, the guys that make the catch. Out of Tracy Smith's dad, Tater would always say, a receiver is good is when you throw it to him to catch it, and Jaylen has really showed to be one of the more reliable guys that we have, whether it's contested or he's, open in space. He plays strong to the ball, and, he had two really amazing plays in the go ball where he went up over JT Broughton and kind of took it, off of his shoulder and finished on his feet and ran the ball into the end zone. And he keeps showing us like that, he's going to be on the field playing. There's no doubt about it. So, we love all of our guys. I have high hopes for this group in general, but that's the nature of competition. And that's what it does is all of a sudden you see people elevate and rise and really show who they are.
I'm going to end this right here, Palmetto Panther, for you, for the whole Excel scrutiny, because I'm just tired of hearing it. What inconsistencies are rolling over, and where did you see that? Where did you see that? What inconsistencies did you see last year? What have you seen that list last year, Pat? Like through training camp, through Fan Fest, through the Cleveland game. What inconsistencies? I just need to know. I'm not saying that I'm celebrating it, but I just want to know why people are just like, well, let's just give up on him. But then we've got people saying, well, he's been inconsistent. Where? When? Where is the inconsistencies? It blows my mind because he didn't even get a ball thrown his way, but yet if you go watch the fucking tape, it just blows my mind. Go watch the tape. Go get NFL Network Plus. Pay $11 a month, and you can go rewatch the tape. He had 8 total drops last year, ladies and gentlemen. We act like nobody has drops. But the guy's creating separation. Here, I'll go show you a play today. If we want to be honest, here. Let me find. Oh, here we go. Cook and Mike Jack right here. Here we go. Let's see if this is inconsistent. Overthrown, so he couldn't catch it. Let's see where else. I got more clips. Actually, we have the full one-on-one clips. Here's all the one-on-ones today. Shout out to Carolina Blitz. Overthrown. Thielen's got to catch that. Yeah. Good coverage by Mike, but it's still a little bit overthrown. David Moore cut back. Nice. Got Bartholomew on that one. Renfro cooking up. Tre'von Moehrig. Jalen Coker. This is over. That was a Caleb Evans. Who's this? Who's 81? I can't tell who that is. Is that Jacoby George? All right. There's Jimmy Horn Jr. God dang. Oh, that's a nice cut. Oh, that's a flag. Yep. Oh. Nice hip movement. Nice out. All right, here's Tet and Corey Thornton. Nice. Good route. Thielen. Okay, there's some speed, Thielen. There's some speed. Where was that against Cleveland? Oh, that's good coverage by Mike Jack. David Moore. Oh, He's got to make that catch. How about that? Let's talk about another guy who had a lot of key drops last year. If we're going to throw shade at Xavier Legette, let's talk about David Moore. Let's just make it make sense, man. All I'm going to say is shout out to Palmetto Panther. He comes on the channel. Appreciate his love and support. But we've got to stop throwing shade at a guy that had 8 drops last year, who is consistently, we've seen this all season, catching with his hands and not with his body. I've shown plenty of clips on this channel that has shown Xavier Legette catching with his hands. So there hasn't been any inconsistencies that Palmetto Panther is talking about. I'm sorry. There hasn't. There hasn't. Not from an Xavier Legette standpoint. Get rid of Andy Dalton. He was looking like a rookie. Jets looking like a rookie Jet. Sam Darnold, the boy was seeing ghosts. Yeah, he's not looking too good. Leave Legette alone. Let the boy play ball. Exactly. Yeah. If you didn't play football, this is true. I get that. Not being on the field catching the football doesn't help, but, go watch tape. That's what I'm saying. Go get yourself an NFL Plus for $11.99 or whatever it is and go watch the replay. But watch the coach's replay, not the actual, game. Go watch the coach's replay because it gives you every angle on the field, so you can't miss anything. You'll see that Xavier Legette's getting consistently open. You got to realize Excel inconsistency was from being his rookie year and learning an NFL playbook. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy that got picked. Here's the thing. If Tetero McMillan, I'm going to just say this now, Palmetto Panther, if Tetero McMillan goes out there and shits the bed his rookie year, you better have the same smoke for him as you do Excel. That's all I'm going to say. Keep it a buck with everybody else that is inconsistent. If you're going to just harp on one person, you got to harp on everybody else that's just inconsistent. Our depth when the 1s and 2s go out worries me. Oh yeah, I mean, again, it was the same question I had the other day, Steve-O. It was just like, what, I asked this when I was live yesterday. Sorry. When I was live yesterday, I was just like, why does it seem like every preseason our backups are worse than other teams' backups? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I get it, Steve. I knew what you meant. Oh, I mean, I have no doubt that T-Mac's going to be special. I'm just saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. We got to keep it a buck for everybody else. All right, but again, XL was a rookie last year. We could also, saying he was learning a new system, new playbook, all that good stuff too. He was injured. You can make that excuse. There's multiple excuses you can make for him. All right. He got in a scruffle the last game. Wasn't on the field to catch football. So we really can't judge him off of that Cleveland game. Okay. Does it help his stock? No. But let's not just say we're out on him because he got in a scruffle and got ejected. Let's see what he does against Houston. Then we'll go from there. I can see that, Dougie. Doug Higgins. I said Dougie. It's because I always call my boy, what's up, Dougie. All right, let's see some more one-on-one. Yeah, Melray got him on that one. Oh, good coverage. Who's this? I didn't see who 81 was. Jimmy Horn on. Damn. Hold on. Can we watch that again? Because Jimmy Horn. Jeez, Lou. That was Michael Reed. Hold on. So this is Michael Reed against Jaycee Horn Jr., I think. Is that Michael Reed? No, that's not Michael Reed. Who's that? 20. Is that 26? I can't see. Oh, it's Smith. That's CSW. All right, so this is Shaw Smith Wade versus Jaycee Horn. Watch this shit. Oh, God. Hey, yo. That boy is on two knees. Oh no. Hold on. I'm sorry. Shaw Smith Wade, I gotta hit you with this, man. I gotta hit you with this. Hold on. Sorry, Shaw. I gotta hit you with this, brother. Shaw Smith Wade.
He needs some milk. He needs some milk.
Yeah. Damn. Sorry. All right, it's all good though. Shaw's my guy. 87. Oh. I know that's our starting nickel. I'm not worried about Shaw, but he did slip on that play, but still, damn. Oh shit, he almost caught that ball. All right, let's go through some of these again. Some one-on-ones. So the first one-on-one I want to watch is Renfro versus Morig. I know round one, Renfro wins. It's always his signature cut that he beats Morig on. And then round two, he definitely gets blanketed. Leggett, Mike Jack, step-for-step coverage. Jackson wins on the breakup. We're going to watch that again. Jaycee Horn Jr. on Michael Reed. I don't know if Michael Reed's on this one or not. Let me see if I can find the one of Michael Reed though. And I'll come back. We'll come back to this. Where did it go? Here's the one from Michael Reed. Here's the one on Michael Reed. So, I mean, Horn absolutely smokes Michael Reed. This is just an easy win. Bam. And then that's when the next play. That's when the next play we saw the one of Shaw Smith Wade. Here's another one I wanted to go over. This is from Bryce and Thielen versus Thomas. So this is Tre'von Thomas. So basically, this is just a deep shoulder fade. Or deep over the shoulder ball. That's all it is here. Bam. Right in the breadbasket. Where was the one? I wanted to find the Mello Dotson one. Hold on. I want to find the Mello Dotson one-on-one. It might be in that clip we were watching. That's Shaw. Damn. Every time. This is Corey Thornton and T-Mac. I mean, he boxed him out, and then they took the deep shot. But Corey, I mean, that's the Tre'von Thomas. This is Leggett. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can find Coker again. Let's see. That's David Moore. This is the one that I was talking about. This is his signature cut. Yep. That's how he gains leverage, man. That's not Mello Dotson, is it? 29? I think that's Akeem. No. Mello. That's the one I was talking about because there's one of Coker and Mello Dotson. Dotson, I think denied him, and I think that's the one I'm talking about. I can't tell. Hold on. I'm trying to see if it's Mello Dotson 29. I don't think that's Mello Dotson because I thought Caleb Evans was 29. Yeah, but he's but no. What number is Mello then? Mello's 28. Was that 28 or 29? No, that's 29. That's Evans. That's Trace Smilling. That's Michael Reed, Jimmy Horn. All right. Here's a Mello Dotson sighting. I found a Mello Dotson sighting. Right here. You give me one day. Yeah. See if I can find another Mello Dotson. We haven't seen a lot of Mello, so I've been wanting to see him a little bit. All right, here he is. He's gotten cooked twice. Oh, nice. That's just such a pretty route by Tet. Shout out to Carolina Blitz for this, by the way. I'm sure this was Vashti who was doing it. So shout out to her for these clips. Just trying to see if I can find any more Mello Dotson today. This is where Morig clamps him up. There he is. Dotson, there it is right there. That's Mello Dotson and Coker right here. Here it is. This is the play I was looking for. Because so watch this play. Dotson just denies him. Great punch out, by the way. I mean, that's good coverage. All right, so we got some Mello Dotson sightings. Went over some one-on-ones. Let's talk about Corey Thornton, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about some Corey Thornton. Now, I do have something on Corey Thornton that I want to watch. And it's by yours truly, Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette. Because Corey Thornton has been turning heads, my guys.
Since he got here, Corey Thornton, 3-1. Yeah, he been doing his thing. Every time I go over against him, I tell him, hey, I like what you doing. Like, sometimes he'll try to be like, that ain't my bag here. I'm like, man, you good. We playing ball, man. As long as you going hard, you gonna make me go. You gonna make me better. So he one of the main guys that been sticking out to me, and the safety too. Like, I like what he doing. He coming down. He trying to put a hat on something. Since he got here.
So, you know, Corey Thornton is turning heads at camp. You know, every camp, I feel like there has been some like unexpected, or like I feel like with the Panthers this past couple of years, there has always been some unexpected defensive standout or offensive standout. Like Coker last year, now it's Corey Thornton. Thornton, who started Friday, you know, obviously in place of Jaycee Horn, do that accident. He earned a PF grade of a 76.9, fifth best on the defense, by the way. So what's been more impressive for me is just how consistent this guy is, right? We've seen it time and time again that he's consistent in practice. He was consistent in that Cleveland game. His footwork is sharp. Like when you watch him, he's very physical at the catching point. He's not afraid to press you, even against the top of the depth chart. And like, you know, Xavier Legette, who has faced Thornton repeatedly in camp, has praised him for competing without, you know, apology, right? You know, this quarterback room is already dealing with not necessarily health concerns, but there's a lot of unknowns, right, with this corner room. We've all said it that we were worried about it. So Thornton's rise is something that is just perfect timing for this group, I feel like. And if I think this guy is going to secure him a roster spot, that no one, I just think he's going to secure a roster spot. He's probably going to he might end up being the Jaylen Coker on the defensive side that we saw last year. And I truly believe that. I mean, Jesus, he had basically an Alabama slam in that Cleveland game. So, but again, I think he's going to be one of the guys that secures his roster spot that maybe someone doesn't expect. So I'm a huge Thornton fan right now. Josiah, what's up, man? T. Cole Evans, yeah, that's 29 millions. Yep, 31 plays hard. Yep. You know how hard it is to hit back-to-back undrafted free agent gyms in 2 years straight. Yeah, I know. We might have. Thornton and Ransom. Yep. I'm a huge Ransom fan, man. I'm a huge Ransom fan too right now. I feel like Ransom should be starting alongside Tre'von Moehrig, but that I digress on that. All right, I want to talk about Jaycee Horn Jr. That's another thing that I took away from today's camp. Let's hear from our coach talk about Jaycee Horn Jr., his position on the depth chart, and stuff like that. And this is, I think, Vashti who asked this question.
And that's really what we hope for.
Speaking of competition, Jaycee Horn Jr.'s had a pretty good camp.
Yeah.
He was kind of low on the depth chart. How much stock do you put on that opening depth chart, and then how do you communicate that to a young guy like Jimmy?
Honestly, it's just pushing him to grow every day. Show us that we have to have you here. Show us that we have to put you on the field. Show us that we can count on you. And those are things that he's taking strides.
Did you hear that? Show us that we have to put you on the field. Show us that we can count on you, right?
And that he's really competing. He's one of the first guys in the building. He's give love to Keyshawn Coleman, one of our quality control coaches, who is constantly with Jimmy before, after practice, after meetings. He's working the right way. It reminds me of a young David Moore, 7th round pick.
I don't like the
out
David
of
Moore
East Central Oklahoma, and I spent every second that I could with David Moore for about 2 years, to the point where now he's had a really successful career, on a couple of different teams. But it's that type of work, it's that type of development and mindset that Jimmy has, that he wants it, and that goes really far with us.
And of course, it's that type of work, that mindset that goes really far with us, as he said. So, again, Jaycee Horn Jr. to me is that kind of rookie that coaches secretly root for, right? He's quick. He's slippery. He's fearless in traffic. But what's impressing Canales, and I think this coach's staff, is obviously what he's mentioning, is the work ethic, right? Like, Horn's been in the building early, staying late, locking extra reps, obviously, with the assistant coach, Keyshawn Coleman, like he said. Canales compared him to David Moore, a 7th round pick who worked his way. He has worked his way into a long NFL career. I can't blame him. I have to give credit where credit's due, right? But Horn has been winning reps in space, showing acceleration after the catch. We just watched, some clips of him. Maybe most importantly, demonstrating that he's dependable enough to trust in live snaps. He's not just chasing a roster spot. He's aiming for an active role in this offense. So, yeah, shout out to Jaycee Horn Jr., man. I look forward to seeing what he can bring. Day 14 was in the books, ladies and gentlemen. We locked in our starting center, even though I don't agree with it. We had guys had some great performances today, as Coker, Thornton, Jaycee Horn Jr. The wide receiver battle continues to heat up. It seems like the offensive line depth right now is kind of thin due to the fact, of course, you got Chandler Zavala with a knee, and then you got Damian Lewis with the shoulder. So, that is a little bit of concern for me. Not a big major concern. I think Brady Christensen could step right in as the left guard there. The defensive backfield continues to be a mix of high energy, a lot of injury management, of course, because of Jaycee Horn. But next stop, joint practice is in Houston, where we will be, joining them in some competition. We'll get probably will get a lot less friendly being there, but this is where bubble players will either sink or swim, especially in this time where training camp is, right? That's where we're at. So, some good, some bad, nothing too crazy. I did want to give a shout out to Bryce Young today. Apparently he was absolutely cooking today. There was a report that came out that said, yeah, here it is. Mike K did come out and said that Young is cooking with gas. Another throw on the run across the field. Xavier Leggett, 11s is a huge gain. And then there was another one that he said that Bryce Young off platform across his body to Jaylen Coker for roughly a 45-yard touchdown offensive rups. I would like to see that clip if possible. Is there a clip out there? Because that would be great. Or is this the clip? Coker with a ridiculous catch at practice. Maybe that was it. That had to be it. Damn. You just got mossed. See if there's any other clips. What did Bryce just do here? Oh, he caught it with one hand. All right. Any more clips I'm missing here? Oh, David Moore with a almost a catch. No, that was Thornton knocking it out. Ridiculous catch by that was the catch that they're talking about. That's wild. Nice. Well, other than that, guys, appreciate everyone joining. Let's see what we got in the comments section real quick. When I heard Dave compared to David Moore early, why it made so much sense, why Moore has so much love and dedication to Dave, right? I hear you, Kendall. I hear you. I don't like the comparison, but that's just me. I blame Evero. Why Richardson or Ransom can't beat out Nick Scott's perplexing. I don't know, man. I think his stock is running down anyways, Rock. I think his stock is down anyways. I said it the other day. His stock, Nick Scott's stock is absolutely down right now. He's just not. I said it yesterday. His stock is down. It has to be, because you got to think about it this way. Nick Scott's stock is down because even though he's a veteran safety, he's finding himself in the wrong end in that Cleveland game. And it was one of the nights that the most avoidable mistakes that he made. It was a muff punt that then ended up pinning rookie Tre'von Etienne with an uninvited blocker. That was Nick Scott himself, ladies and gentlemen. So even special teams miscues don't often get forgiven in August, especially from players fighting for depth spots. His stock is down right now. So I don't know how he's even, again, I don't look into the depth chart right now because it's, we haven't even been making that many cuts or anything. I'm not going to be looking into it that hard. I'm confident in the coach's decision on Corbett. I'm confident in it, but I don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. Not with a guy who's had how many knee injuries and then now is coming off a torn bicep. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But that's just me. I think he should have been the rotation center, in my opinion. I think Cade Mays showed enough for us last year. I think he's more physical, but again, they went with the guy with the more, veteran and leadership. So 6 wide receivers, Palmetto Panther. Again, I've never seen a team keep 7 wide receivers. I've never seen a Carolina Panthers team keep 7 wide receivers. So we're keeping 6. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're watching on X, make sure you're going over to the YouTube channel. That's the best way you can show your love and support to me by coming over here, liking and subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. So, all right, guys. Well, I will see you tomorrow. Good conversations, great debates. Always love chatting with you guys in the chat, whether we agree or disagree. So don't take it to heart if I'm hard on you or anything like that. So we're just talking ball, ladies and gentlemen. So other than that, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for showing all your love and support as always. Again, do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow. And as always, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.